Okay, including an image. So let's say this is my paper, and I'm going to show you in Word and then Google Docs. So insert picture. Okay, so we got this car, and that's too big. Now, in case somebody's like, what? That obviously it's been photoshopped, yes. It has all this white space around it and clunks up my writing. So the key thing here is in Word to right click and go to wrap text through. And then that allows the text to come around it. I'll undo that and do it again. So right click, wrap text through. And then you can plop it in the middle if it looks good that way, but generally speaking, I feel like, use your own sensibilities, your own artistic sensibilities, but generally speaking, you want it big enough that I can see the level of detail you want me to see for what you're going to use it for, and that it's, I think generally speaking, all the way to the left or all the way to the right, like you can see that brings up that little line there, and you can tell you're all the way to the right. That lines up pretty good. The one I don't care for too much is like that, or like, let me see what it'll do. Yeah, like no, I don't get that. If there's a reason, okay, but generally speaking, let's stay in it. Just, again, this is not right or wrong stuff necessarily, but I think that makes sense, and that's unobtrusive and not calling unnecessary attention to how you've placed the picture. Now the other element of this is if it's in paper 2 and it's your own picture of you or your family or something, and it's what you're writing about, and the connection is more intuitive or aesthetic, you don't necessarily need to label it, and you may not need to cite it if it's your own picture. But in formal academic writing, we want to label it and then connect it to the writing, just like you wouldn't just drop a quote in and let us figure out what it is. There would be some connection to what you wrote before and after. So how we'll do that is in Word, you right click and insert caption. And you could insert a text box. I prefer insert caption because it puts it just in the right spot. But it will put it, it default to blue font and italic. So I get rid of the italics and make the font black. And then it's fig, in MLA it's fig dot, 1 dot, and if you have more it'll be 2 and so forth. You can put a caption here if you want. And then I need a citation from the article it came from, just like if it were text. So that I'll take that citation and go to my your works cited list and find Anderson and be able to go to the article or web page or whatever it is where that image is located. It may not be the person who made the image. If you want to add that information, you could put that in the caption, photo by, so and so. But I need a citation of where you found it, because this information might not be sufficient for me to go and find that photo. I mean, we have other ways like Google image search and everything, but for proper MLA citation, you want to put that. And where did you get it from? So that's how that works in Word. But then there's another element of it. Somewhere you can see, that's what I'm, yeah, Maddie. So not necessarily with the caption, you could, but what I'm going to do is show you my preferred way to explain it. So, oh, I guess I already have it in there. I did it from the last class. Notice how in the lower right of figure 1, there's blah, 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 blah. You can do it that way, or, and this doesn't go with the actual text. I'm just showing formatting. See fig 1. There's a really unobtrusive way to do that. I want you to connect the photo with your text and show me how you want me to interpret it and what you want me to take from that photo in relation to your text. Now, again, if it's paper 2 and it's you or your family or something, or it's your picture in relation to your expose or something like that, and it's intuitive or aesthetic and how to interpret it, you might not want to do that depending on the style or genre. But for papers 1 or 3 or that more formal academic writing, you'd want to label it and then somehow talk about the photo or talk about what the photo shows and connect the photo to that sentence. Whether that's, it's flexible how you do that. You can talk about it out here and mention figure 1 or in parentheses or whatever way suits your paper. But that's how you'll do that. Are there questions about including an image so far, other than Maddie's question, which I think I covered? Now, if it helps to put a caption in there that explains it, that's also fine, but I don't know that that would take the place of putting it out here. So I wouldn't recommend it, but you can make that call too based on what's most suitable for your paper. Okay, and I don't know how many images you include and so forth. One student asked if every paper needs an image. No, it's not a requirement to have any images in your portfolio, but they can be useful. Okay, so Google Docs really quick, and we'll do, so you go to, let's say in Google Docs, insert image, upload from computer. We can do that same weird car. Okay. I'm just going to tell you, Google Docs is not very elegant with this aspect compared to Word. And I like Google stuff, but and this is way better than it used to be. And it's still really bad, in my opinion. Now, maybe somebody can get it to work smoother, but first thing is, you'll see there's the image and you've got the text wrap problem. So the way to clear that up is actually really simple in Google Docs. You click the image and underneath it shows you the text wrap options. They've got inline, break text, and wrap text. Choose wrap, and then it lets it come around. And then you can, again, put it in your left or right margin or whatever suits your particular paper. The tricky part, and if somebody knows a better option, that's fantastic. But the caption. One recommendation I have is when you're about done with your paper, or you are done with your paper, download it as a Word document and then put the caption in Word. Or if you want to put it in with Google Docs, wait till you're done editing it before you do it, because it's not easy to move around. The image is easy enough to move around. I guess I have this table from before. Let me see if I can delete it. It's hard to even delete. Yeah, so that's the old one. What you have to do, the best I can tell, is insert table, and then you're inserting a table, okay? And it's going to be way too wide, so shrink it down and move your picture to where the table is, because it's very hard to move the table. And then, so you've got fig dot one dot station and period, okay? Now it's got this black box around it. So how you do that is right click and then table properties. You can't get rid of the box, but you can make it white so that it doesn't show up. And so you've done it, but as you edit in here, it's going to move around, and I find it to be quite a headache personally. If